Hello everybody, Ray Garner with Garner's Games, here to do my weekly comic review. This week we're going to do a little different. We're doing Black Canary, Best of the Best, number 6. So this is going to be kind of a combined of the entire series, because this is the final episode, or final issue of this series. And as a big Black Canary fan, she is my third favorite superheroine in the DC universe. Second or third only to Wonder Woman and Supergirl. So, big stakes. And in this series, if you've been reading it, if you haven't, you've been missing out. This is the story of her. Her mom is on the verge of dying, and she's taking on Lady Shiva in a fight to see who is the greatest martial artist in the world. And this book is brought to us by Tom King as a writer, and Ryan Sook is our artist. And we start this issue off kind of recapping where we're at in the fight. We're fixing to go into our 6th round. And everybody's kind of watching it. But of course, that's been the standard in this series. We keep jumping back and forth between the hospital and Canary's life, because we immediately go into the hospital, and a gentleman sits down and starts talking to Dinah. And of course, it's Vandal Savage. And he's brought a chicken salad sandwich. And he is offering to cure her mom. And she could live for a couple more decades. Or, as he points out, she could get hit by a car the next day. Never know. The deal is, she has to take on Shiva and make it to the 6th round and then surrender. Basically, throw the fight at the end. Of course, is losing any fight to Shiva, throwing the fight. Anyway, they're sitting in their respective corners at the beginning of the next round. And we start off with Shiva cracking her neck, cracking her knuckles, and immediately charging Canary. And she gets just bum rushed into the corner. Canary actually breaks her stool over her and starts beating her with the legs of the stool. Then we once again flash to Canary basically griping at her mom, and her mom's being represented by her wig. And it's basically really a whole lot of the story is the struggle of her becoming a superhero in the shadow of her mom and trying to live up to her expectation of what her mom was. She was kicking her while she's down and keeps calling her white trash. And at one point, to prove her point, she rips Dinah's wig off of her. And the commentators just talking about just how humiliating that is. And the story really leads into that as Diana's basically cleaning up after she's been mad, throwing a fit at her mom's wig, at her wig, I should say, representing her mom. And she knows by this point all she has to do is say she's over. Say she surrenders, and it's over. And she gets up and it's like, sorry, Mom. And by the way, this comic, the art on this is absolutely great. It is brutal. My only complaint a little bit in this episode, or this issue, is Shiva's eye heals a lot from the previous issue. I really think we should have had a deal where she was getting a cut to drain the blood pressure off of it, to explain why she's able to see out of the eye that was swollen shut in the last issue. And at times, like in this picture here, let me get that a little closer. It is pretty much swollen up, where she can't hardly see out of it. But Shiva gets upset and then gets happy because Dinah, of course, does the Rocky Balboa, pulls herself back up. And as she's coming in, she catches her square on the jaw as she's diving in on her. Great splash page, by the way, by the artist. And she's standing over her, and Shiva is out. I mean, literally, eyes rolled in the back of her head. But, of course, the important thing to Dinah is her mom's life. So Shiva is laying there unconscious. The ref is going over to check on her. The only way to win this match is your opponent has to say they surrender. It's an I quit match from wrestling. And Canary, I surrender. The next page, we go back. She's visiting her mom in the hospital. And her mom's all better. Doctors are saying it's a miracle. And mommy actually asked her about what happened in the match. She goes, I lost. Oh, well, that's okay. We'll get him next time. I'm like, yeah, we will. And then, of course, we have the commentators. Basically talking about, hey, it ends up all being right. Shiva wins. She should have won. You know, Dinah was the long shot, even though it's clear that Dinah won that fight. Dinah knows she won that fight. Shiva knows she won that fight. And that ends this series. The best of the best. And Canary really is. So I'm immensely happy with the series. If you haven't been reading it when the trade paperback comes out, pick up the trade paperback. It's well worth your time. If you've been reading it, you know how great this series has been. And this episode here, I keep calling them episodes because they're written almost like they're TV episodes. This issue is great. It's one of the best Canary stories in several years. Tom King really is good at what he does. And as a boxing fan, as a wrestling fan, you know, and as a Canary fan, I could not recommend this book any higher. Pick it up, read it. It's great. It is one of the best books. It's definitely the best of the series that was launched with the All-Ins that aren't part of the Absolutes, and really better than quite a few of the Absolutes. So check it out. I recommend it. And Canary is the best of the best. See you next week.